Right. So
Moving on to wasted talent and potential. Uh, let's talk about the silence, which you talk about it, and I hear nobody talk about it. So when you tell me about it, I thought it was like this hidden gem that nobody watch and real dread. Not realizes that is like a really shitty prequel to A Quiet Place. A little bit of Bird Box in there. I'm like, all right, this was
here's
kind
the
of
thing with me and the silence, right? So I just looked at two names. Kunan Shipka, who we know
right.
and love from Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Great actress in my opinion. Great actress. And Stanley Tucci. I mean, the man is a great actor, right? He's a talented actor. So it's like, all right, two big names. I know they could act their asses off. All right, what is this film about? Okay, getting a Quiet Place vibe from it, getting a Bird Box vibe from it. But is Kunan Shipka and Stanley
Right.
Tucci those? It's
All
like
right.
nigga
So
acting shit, right?
when I started watching it and it started in the beginning, I was watching it and I was like, wait, this did they film this like some years ago before she was like a big star in Sabrina? And it's like the answer is yes. Right. Somebody when I was talking about it in a just a thread with somebody else, yeah, this was done and already finished in 2017.
Oh,
Um
that is why. 'Cause I was watching
right.
her face
She's
there.
looking much
I
younger,
thought she
right?
was looking much younger. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she looks way younger in this. So yeah, it was filmed a while back. So it's one of those where they start block for something else and then they'll bring out something that they do some years back just to capitalize on it quickly. That's effectively what they do here. Is that bullshit? Something similar went down with Captain Marvel. Remember Captain Marvel have a movie out now, Unicorn Store, something like that.
Yeah, which we were supposed to talk about, but I heard some
I
bad reviews about it, so I didn't bother to watch it.
it's better than this.
Wow.
um, but it's the same thing. It's the same. Oh, you do this thing, and then because I blow up in something else, you come back and bring it back. Even your boy Black Panther had something like that. He had some like thing where he was in Africa, some cop thing. I forget what it was. He does do that all the time. It's a common marketing trick, right? Movie
Yeah, I know
cast,
they did it with Chris Hemsworth, right? Where he
right?
blew up a tour, they brought out what it is, Cabin in the Woods, which he
Right.
shelved for years, and
Yeah,
right.
it's a trick. So what they do is when it blow up, you ride the coattails after the fact. And
Yeah,
that's exactly what this is. And this is a particularly egregiously bad example of this story. Like
yeah,
this,
but before I get to what it's about, right? Um, First red flag, though, I would admit, was the director. I saw John R. Leonetti. I was like,
right,
wait. I know that name from somewhere, Chet. Where I know that
right,
name from? And it's when I went up on Wikipedia, I was reminded that man directed one of the most infamously
right.
bad movies ever made.
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
yeah,
Yes, he directed that. And
yeah,
even worse, he directed one of, in my opinion, one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen in my life. Annabelle, the first
right,
Annabelle.
right.
And quite recently, as in 2017, sorry, he directed a movie that I wanted to see so bad because I heard it was one of those so bad it's good kind of movies. Wish Upon.
Okay, right.
Yeah. I heard it's one of those so bad it's good movies. I actually do want to see it. Like maybe if you have a bad movie line one of these days, you
Right.
should
Right.
actually watch that. Yeah, 'cause I
It's
heard
one of
things about it, but that was like a red flag. I was like, oh wait. That guy, wait. Um, all right, I kind of worried here, right? So what is the story about, right? So we mentioned A Quiet Place, mentioned Bird Box, and yeah.
right.
So essentially, it's this cave research team. This is in the intro.
Yep.
Usual shit. They stumble on some prehistoric creature. In this case, it's like this weird sort of bat pterodactyl hybrid, basically, that was in
Right.
hiding
Yeah.
in this cave. They all escape. They kill the research team. You know what happens? Blood at the camera. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And then later we introduce the character, sorry, of Ali, who is played by Kurden Shipka. She is deaf. She's deaf actually. And later we understand how she got deaf. Right? She has a
Right.
boyfriend who isn't deaf, but he knows sign language as well. I thought that was pretty cute. Also
Yeah.
another person from Chilling Adventures and Sabrina who was there, Miranda Otto, who plays her mother Kelly.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, oh shit, she
Right.
just what? Okay, right? And
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci, of course, plays the dad, Hugh, and he just seeing how they work together as a family. Ali has a little brother. Her grandmother on her mother's side is alive. Well, I mean, is literally family basically, and it's all good, right? And then the news reports come out. You know what I mean? Weird occurrences. People are dying from these strange winged creatures, right?
Right.
And right off the bat, they say, "Stay in your homes. Don't make any noise," right? Of course, people will go outside and get killed, but it's like, all right, well, we had to stay in here. But through some circumstances, you know, the family realized, and well, there's an uncle at it's
Right.
yeah
Uncle is a friend of the father. Yeah.
a friend of the father, right? Glenn, right? But they call him Uncle Glenn, right? Yeah. So they all decide, here's what we
Correct.
gonna jump in the car, I'm gonna get out of here, right? And basically, it's just their misadventures as they get from one point to the next. You know, real quiet place style. They get into a place,
Yeah.
but it's not enough, you know, because somebody had to make some noise and whatnot. And you know, there's these creatures trying to attack. So it starts off with them inside the car, and then it goes to them going inside of a house. I'll talk about a house later on, and where things kind of get weird though, weird, and then kind of just fuck is that there's a cult involved. Yes, it counts. Decide here's what, right? Well, y'all better follow us, Jed. You know, just say nothing, follow us. If you don't, you can make some noise, and then these back
Right.
creatures will,
It's yeah,
you know, that
cult,
shit
cult, which is so
made
dumb.
no
It,
sense at all.
you
And
know.
I understand you want to set this post-apocalyptic environment, right? But dude, this is
Yeah.
not 28 days later, Jed. This is not about, you know, the evils of humanity, Jed. This is about humans, people that you're supposed to give a shit about, trying to survive these creatures, trying to get from point A to point B. That's all. No preacher me about, you know, the fall of humanity and the
Yeah. They don't
apocalypse.
have time for.
Don't give me that, please. This is not that kind of movie. This is only 90 minutes long. Don't try to be all complex, right? So, Ricardo, just rip this movie to shreds, please. Go on.
Yeah. Well, I'm not in the mood to rip the shirt because like it's just dumb. Like nothing about it makes sense or works. Like why didn't they just stay in their own house? Why they leave? They need to. They don't really need to, right? If the uncle was like, well, we need to go here or there, I was like, no, you don't really need to, and you're kind of gonna
Exactly.
fuck it up.
Just
And
stay in the
uh,
house. And the
they
whole
did
movie would have been great with them just being in the house, trying not to
right.
get killed.
Well, yeah, it was just kind of dumb. Everybody was just making dumb decisions. The uncle was dumb. The father was like, oh well, the dog need to shut the fuck up, so he let the dog went out. Apparently, the dog get tear to pieces, but they didn't have the budget to show that.
You know,
Um,
but what I
it,
did, I saw this shirt to her in
you
this
know,
slow mo with dramatic
right?
music played.
Yeah, like
Everybody
what?
stretch out the arms, the mouth like no. And I was like, but why did they
I
let the
did
dog out for? Because they making noise. Just
right.
step on the
Apparently.
pedal and drive out to that
I didn't.
friggin'
That's the part
forest.
of it I didn't actually follow because, like, them bats thing. Here's the problem: them bats thing don't seem to be that competent or dangerous anyway. Like, once you're in a car, you're good. Once you're in a moving car, they shouldn't really be that thing. Another thing is, how much of these bats things it have? One cave have how much of these things?
Stand
Well,
point.
apparently,
Good point. Good point. Yeah.
but apparently, just to defend that, you had a scene where they was in a drugstore. They showed that the bat is reproduced pretty quickly. So okay, fine.
Yeah.
So if you know, it's one of those swarm things, right? You know, once you give it a food stuff, it'll just exponentially grow whatever it is. You see that with locusts and shit like that, right? Fine. Um, so basically, yeah, this was just a dumb prequel to A Quiet Place. That is what this was.
That's what it
That
was.
is what it
And
felt
it
like.
wasn't as smart and it wasn't
Nowhere
as
as smart
tense
as
as
that.
that.
Look, to be fair, I think that film kind of dumb, eh? Like I don't like Quiet Place anywhere near as much as other people. But I thought it was well done, right? Even though it's
It
kind of dumb.
was, but I didn't love it neither. I just
But
find that
this
it just kind of like there was things about it that I liked, but it was still you kind of generic. You know, we
right,
have to stay safe or else, and then yeah, characters do some dumb shit. You know,
right.
so
But this,
sorry,
this
Jim Halpert. I know what you tried to do, but it was dumb shit. Sorry.
right. But this just didn't work for me. It was just kind of a waste of time for me. Nobody was good in this. All the logic was kind of bad. The ending was kind of interesting with the grandmother. She sacrificed herself apparently. Yeah, that's it. And then you know they decided to go to this kind of Walking Dead bullshit at the ending where you know we shooting
Yeah,
arrows
yeah,
in heck. That
yeah, yeah.
nonsense. Like
They do that. They do that.
and they
Well,
meet up.
sorry.
Yeah, and they meet up with the boyfriend and so on and so forth. I couldn't care. Yeah, it makes sense to kind of talk about this because it's just complete problem. Total waste of my time. Nothing interesting to talk about. It generic as all hell. Um, very poorly executed. The budget showed. Everybody was just kind of checked out for this. I like Stanley Tucci, why are you doing this? Now here's the thing, if it was like a generic sci-fi channel Saturday night bullshit, I'd have probably give this a pass. Or even if this was a local film, like like on the level of the Cutlass or something like that, yeah, cool, give it a pass. But to see Stanley Tucci in this nonsense, and to see Shilka, she's a big star now, but for understanding the whole thing, it is one of those things. It's clearly a bullshit product, kind of nonsense anyway. But yeah, to see Stanley Tucci in this foolishness, nah, I think it's a really low score. So this get like a 1 out of 10 from me. It's like it's just a waste of time. Don't watch it, skip it. It's a waste of time. Colossal waste of time. Yeah, the priest people was completely pointless.
That made no sense at all.
It sucked.
Yeah. So my thoughts, right? Totally agree with you, Trent. I wanted to like this thing, even for the setup and all. I wanted to like Kernan Shipka's character, and still, actually, I do like her character the most. Like, I think that I actually give a shit about her more than anybody else. Stanley Tucci was just the dad who just wanted to make sure everybody's safe, but he would make these poor calls or whatnot, whether it's just going outside to check on this and come back. It's just like, why,
Yeah.
And once again,
and
parallels.
Made no sense to me. Like, at this part where some old woman came out, the old woman come out and she just get tear up and like, this woman wasn't paying attention to the news at all or something. Like, she was just isolated. Why she come out and make such a noise? And she just dead like a dog.
As you see that, right? As you see that, this is what I want to talk about the house, right? So you are right, Trent. That scene, and another death which I'll talk about, I was like, what the fuck, Trent? Really? Like, on the news, people are saying that these creatures are out, right? You come outside, like, what the hell are you doing in my property? Blasting a shotgun. Of course he has to rip the Trent. I laughed at that. I laughed, like, oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. I try to be charitable. I try to be charitable towards stuff like that. So I assume she's like just some bumpkin who don't watch news at all or don't watch TV. But she don't know what's going on. She's just some isolated person. That's the only thing that makes sense to me about that. That's it.
But there was no tension built up to that, though. It's just she come out, say what she blast a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
Sorry, and then the creatures attack. So it's like you knew what was gonna happen. Like we expect.
Right. Anyway,
that's how I know we talking a lot, but what that made no fucking sense at all. It was the train scene, the subway scene. Sorry. There's a mother with a baby, right? The baby is crying. Everybody quiet, right? It's like, baby's making too much noise. And one guy trying to grab the baby, right? It's like, no, I'll handle it. She exits the subway and keeps walking down the tunnel train. Was she going to on the platform? Was she trying to leave the subway? Why did she stay in the subway?
Baby making noise, so the baby had to go. So she said, all right, well, I'll sacrifice myself with my baby, apparently. That's what they was going for. But again, no tension, no build up. I mean, the most amateur. Okay.
And they try to do the quiet. Well, a couple of things, right? They try to do the quiet place thing where it's all quiet and everybody's doing sign language or they're whispering so low. And thank God I had subs on. I could understand what they were saying because there were no subtitles. There was actually no hard-coded subtitles for the moments when they were doing, sign language or whispering. So you literally had to really to understand what they were saying. I was just like, what? But it's just one cliche scenario after the next cliche. And then the whole cult thing just came out of nowhere. The setup of it was so awkward. I was just like, what's the point of all this? And I get that they was trying to set up this pretty interesting climax. Interesting in the sense that how they got the creatures to attack, but still poorly executed. And anything with the grandmother was just like, oh gosh, man, really? That's. And then the end was kind of wannabe Walking Dead, and it just fell flat for me. But it just really felt like they was just trying way too hard to do this safe PG-13 film with CG creatures that don't even look good, attacking people, because that's scary. I was just looking at the creatures themselves. It's like I understand what you're going for, but it just didn't look good at all. But it just poorly put together. So yes, we talked long about it. I know you already. All right.
Yeah,
so rating-wise, for me, I would give this 2 out of 5. I want my money back. I persuade you to watch it, and after I watched it, right, this was the night before the time was recorded, I was like, oh god, why do this for, boy? Like, why had you stop what you doing to watch this, boy? Because Stanley Tucci and Kurden Shipka was it. And swear to God, that was the reason why I watched it, because like, well, them two in it, so it had to be good, right? But
no,
I should tell when he got Arlie and that name. I was like, all right, this is gonna be a failure. This is gonna be a failure.
I think is this Bird Box scam fuckery now that they like to do now. The hyper thing, make it look like it better than it really is, and it is. You watch it and waste your fucking time. You know? Yeah, for me, like a 1 out of 10. This is Sci-Fi Channel Saturday night bullshit. Sorry, waste of my time. Total crap. Moving on. Next.
Yeah, huge disappointment. Moving on, right? So keep it with Netflix once again. Well, actually for the last time. Now we're going to talk about a TV series that was recommended to me, well, to us, sorry, from fellow 3D Critics League member Somebody Holiday, called Black Summer. And here's the ironic thing about it, right? So we keep talking about sci-fi original. This movie actually, this series, this 8-episode series, is produced by none other than The Asylum.
Okay.
Yes, the folks who were behind the Sharknado series, you know, and the infamous for these mockbuster movies, right? For those who don't know what that is that they will take a popular movie, a movie that is like probably finished production and is about to be released within a certain period of time, and they will do a mock version of it. So case in point, there'll be Transformers, and they had like Gladiator Formers or some kind of shit like that, right?
Yeah.
You'll do their own version of stuff like that. Oh, yeah, Transmorphers,
yeah.
right? I know they had some Gladiator ones or some shit, right? My introduction to the Asylum was when Pacific Rim, right? One of my all-time favorite Guillermo del Toro movies came out. That was in 2012, I believe it was. And they dropped Atlantic Rim Dread. And I watched that. I was like, yeah, this is one of the worst movies I ever see in my life. Just so bad, right? But yeah, so their name has been in infamy as far as, you know, movies go, right? Just because of their production value and all that stuff, right? I mean, it's not like they work with a big budget or whatnot, but yeah, they pull out some really shitty CG, right? Whatever. But what I didn't know is that they were behind a show that used to be on Sci-Fi called Z Nation, and this show actually is a prequel to Z Nation. I actually never watched Z Nation at all. I heard it was decent, but it wrapped up, so I don't know. It's just like, all right, well. At the time, I was still on, you know, The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Kind of tried to get into Fear the Walking Dead, but I don't know, just didn't click with me. Although I've heard that it got better over the past few seasons, but I don't know, it's just time and whatnot. But I still sold it on with Walking Dead because I mean, it's Walking Dead, right? You know, that's the show that everybody talks about, right? So, you know, you go on. Well, used to, sorry. When you go on Facebook, when you go on Yahoo, or when you go on Twitter, it's all about Walking Dead every Monday, right? There's always something new about that, right? Until Game of Thrones comes, it's just like, what? Oh, Walking Dead, what? You know what I mean? But then again, Walking Dead usually ends before Game of Thrones starts anyway, right? My point is, talking about Walking Dead, is that yes, Black Summer, just like Z Nation, is about a zombie apocalypse, basically, right? And once again, it's never really stated what happened. I don't know if it was ever stated in Z Nation, but it just kind of starts off with the apocalypse actually taking place, right? With the outbreak, I should say, right? And right off the bat, there's this military presence. You know, people are scampering. You know, they're being put into into trucks and whatnot, being carried out heaven knows where, and people are just all scared, right? And what was pretty interesting here is that we are introduced to different characters, right? But they don't all band together. It's just basically two groups, right? It's two groups of people, and we see how they kind of introduce them one by one, right? And instantly when I saw the text for each segment, because yes, each segment in these episodes are titled, right? So it's almost like if you're looking at the scene selection in like a DVD movie, right? Like if you buy original DVD, you go into the menu, you see the scene selection.
Right.
So it's basically titled like that, right? What's interesting though is that the font that they use is that familiar font that we all know, the one that they use for Gravity. Yes, that font they use.
Right.
You know, so right off the bat when I was seeing it, you know, the black black background, the white text is like, all right, this is like friggin' Gravity, though. Okay, hear the kind of Shepherd's Stone music that, you know what I mean, cut
Yeah.
the black kind of thing. Like, yeah, clearly this is Gravity inspired, right? But whatever. Um, but it's about these different characters, and they all kind of form. Well, all right, basically, like I said, they form two groups, right? And then later on, near the end of the season, they kind of team up, right? Well, some of them do, others don't, right? And it's just simply just them trying to get to, well, what do you say, a haven for them to just stick it out until this zombie apocalypse, or outbreak, dissipates, basically. The stadium, right? Just this big place, this large place where you're supposed to go for sanctuary, right? And it's just about these characters getting from point A to point B, meeting other characters, trying to not get bitten by zombies or get killed. Because, yeah, just like in The Walking Dead, if you die, you are reanimated as a zombie, right? So,
Right.
or if you get bitten, you could turn into a zombie as well. And this is basically what the show is about. And I do understand why some people really praise this show, right? For one thing, I saw Stephen King kind of giving this a great review. Is the visceral nature of it, right? So for
Right.
those who kind of just tuned out of Walking Dead, because especially with season 9, which I admit was good, but kind of disappointed as far as Walking Dead goes, because of its overly dramatic angle, right? It's trying to maintain peace. So it's all these peaceful moments and moments of dialogue and characters talking, but it kind of don't come into the show to see that. You want to see zombie shit. You want to see zombie horror, right? In this case, they just throw away, the interactions and the dramatic moments. It's just about tension being built, right? Just tension just being unwound and wound at the same time. And it's just about characters just trying to survive, right? There'll even be sections where it's just about a character getting from point A to point B, and that's what the episode is about. And they will just kind of cut back to a character who is going through a similar occurrence, trying to get to this point, but you have to deal with these zombies, and it's just what these characters will do, how much blood is shed, you know what I mean? And it is brutal, right? Brutal as far as zombie horror goes, right? It's not overly bloody or gory, but you do get your zombie goodness, right? You get the kills and whatnot. It's not
Right.
overly graphic, you know what I mean? Because we're working with a budget, of course. But it's enough for you. Like the tension is just there. Then when it's let loose, you do feel the emotional weight of it. You do feel disturbed. You do feel sickened at times. But it's within the subgenre, so it wasn't really anything too spectacular, right? If you see one zombie film, you kind of know what to expect here. It's just pedal to the metal kind of horror, visceral kind of shit, right? It reminds me a lot like 28 weeks later. You know what I mean? Like 20 days
Okay.
later, I would compare it to Walking Dead, where it's about the characters, not so much about the zombie apocalypse. It's just how these characters are dealing with the zombie apocalypse, right? And that's what made that show work, right? It's a great show, right? And you still get your visceral horror, you still get the tension and your scares and whatnot. But 20 weeks later, sorry, was just like, all right, we just gotta try to scare the shit out of you, Trent. We just going to get under your skin, Trent. Whether we had to sacrifice characters so that we gonna get under your skin, Trent. You know what I mean? If you find 20 days later was boring, 20 weeks later, however, is far from it, right? But yeah, I
Right.
love both movies, right? But that is the best way I could compare Walking Dead to this. It's just visceral horror throughout, right? Which is good, especially with the genre, especially with how people just kind of gave up on Walking Dead years ago. I know you gave up on it like since that one episode, that one season premiere. What was it about? What was it again? By oh gosh, I forget the name of the episode. Remember I talk
But
about
yeah,
the
the cannibals on them? I can't remember.
I think it was. It was when they went to that particular area. I forgot the name of it, right? And
Sanctuary. I forgot it was.
yeah, and it was that one premiere, and you say it was like the best episode in the series, and then from
Yeah.
there it just kind of fell apart even before Negan came in. So yeah, so
Yeah.
this show specifically is for people who just get fed up of Walking Dead. I find it just too dull and boring and contrived and just not ending, right? And from what we heard, yeah, we get it more seasons, which is like no, the next season, season 10 should be the end. End it. ended AMC. Come on, or they have other great shit like they're more likely, just a little rant here, more likely they might end Better Call Saul before they even end Walking Dead. Like, process that shit for a bit, all right?
Yeah,
But moving along, right? But what makes it even more interesting now is that it's from the asylum now. So you're kind of thinking that this is clearly their version of Walking Dead. It's not really inferior as such, but it's kind of like not so much a spoof or parody, but just like, all right, guys, remember when Walking Dead actually used to be scary? We're gonna give you that with this one, right? So it's kind of like a mockbuster version of the Walking Dead, which makes this thing so ironic and so funny at the same time. It's like, yeah, for all those who kind of felt that Walking Dead just get all dry and just lethargic. Here is the zombie shit that you've always wanted. You thought you would have gotten in Walking Dead, but you don't get anymore, right? So just the asylum just being part of this just make it all the more ironic, right? As far as acting goes, I mean, the acting is serviceable. Everybody do their job. The music is tense as hell. The cinematography is cold. You know what I mean? It's very dull, very the colors are diluted and whatnot, and it works at just setting the sort of dark mood of this thing. Because yeah, this is a very grim series, a very very grim series. There's little to no humor in it at all. If there is any humor, it just probably is by how over the top or just uh how what's the word I'm looking for? How quick these deaths are, or just how shocking these deaths are. You know what I mean? You might chuckle at it or two. But while I want to praise this thing to high heaven, though, here's the problem. And this is where Walking Dead excels actually more than Black Summer. There's say what you want about Walking Dead, right? But I will respect the emphasis put on character development. Right. Everybody has a personality. Everybody has character to them, right? Even though you're not really supposed to. I mean, you're not connected with them. It's just like Game of Thrones. Eventually they might die, but you kind of like them because they are who they are. In this show here, unfortunately, because they go in for the whole survival of the fittest thing and visceral horror approach, it's just like they're given little to no characterization at all. It's just like, all right, you're this character, this is your setup, and we're just gonna follow you. But that's all we get. We only get a setup as to where you were before you met these other characters, and that's it. That's all we get. And that to me kind of brought down the show because yes, while I'm glad I get in the zombie horror shit that I felt is kind of non-existent in Walking Dead now, I still wish that I cared about these characters, and they just kind of came off as just your typical characters that you would see in a show like this, in a survival horror show like this. But they could have given them a little bit more character development. There are moments where characters interact with each other. That's cool. But it's still not enough though, because it's just still kind of hope. It is still kind of waiting for the kill to happen, for somebody to get killed or the zombie to get killed or whatnot. But it's just not enough time for you to be like, all right, this is why I should care about this character. Just all these characters have to get to safety, and that's it. That's all we get as far as characterization. And that to me was the major letdown of this, right? And understand, it's intentional. It's not about characters. It's about the situation that they're in. It's about the tension in it. Cool, but if you don't care about the character, it really doesn't matter in the end. Unfortunately, it just doesn't matter, right? I know horror shows and horror movies got away with those in the past, but we're talking about a series here, not a movie, right? We're talking about a series. And maybe because I'm not familiar with Z Nation, maybe I would appreciate the show a lot more, but I don't need to watch Z Nation to care about the story or the characters. Black Summer could have done that for me, and unfortunately, they didn't really do that for me. They just focus a lot more on the tension and the horror than anything else, right? And that was a letdown for me. So, in closing, I dug it for what it was. I didn't think it was like this mind-blowing horror series that reinvigorated the zombie genre. Well, I guess some people will call it that, but for me, it was just another example of just modern horror, right? Just modern zombie horror. It is what it is, right? So it didn't really blow my mind like that. I was engaged with what was going on. I felt the tension. Other times it just felt like, all right, it's just tension for tension's sake. But that it was what it was, right? And it's just 8 episodes. For me, it clocks in like about 5 hours. So it'll take you roughly that time to just binge it anyways. It's an easy binge, right? Um, and it does lead into a next season. It does, it does have it does kind of end on this climactic note. So yes, hopefully we'll get a season 2. But I hope that with this upcoming season that they do flesh out the characters a lot more. They do give us a reason to give a shit about the characters and still give us the horror thrills that people kind of wish was still existent in Walking Dead, right? So I understand its purpose, I understand why it's there. I would call it groundbreaking, but if you love, just if you just love zombie flicks, I just kind of gave up on Walking Dead, then yeah, give this one a look bad. So for me, I would give this lighter, decent 3.5 out of 5. It's worth checking out. It's an easy binge. If you like that kind of thing, you'll like it. If you do like a lot of tension and a lot of just grimness with your horror, then you just come out of this, I don't know, just like not so much disturbed, but just like disappointed by it. And if you expected a lot of characterization, unfortunately, you won't get. But still, it works for what it is. If you're scared easy, this is not for you. But if you just like your horror with a lot more visceral thrills in it, then yeah, give Black Summer a look. But I just hope with season 2 they step things up and give us more characterization. And one last thing, props to the Asylum though. Like I didn't know that they were behind Z Nation and the show here. So at least it shows that they are doing good things and not just making intentionally bad movies because they can't. Maybe it's like they were doing these things to develop themselves, at least as far as the, directed and VFX talent goes. I guess I don't know, but maybe this was just the lead up to a show like this. So there with credibility, where we can look at the Asylum and be like, yeah, these guys are right, man. These guys are the real deal. Forget the blockbuster shit of the past. They're legit, right? So I'm really curious to see what they do next. Of course, seeing that Sharknado is a thing in the past now. So let me see how let me just see what other projects they put out in their future. But yeah, Black Summer is the real deal for for better or for worse. So yeah, check it out, man. If you're curious about it, give it a look.